If you're sleeping in your car in your driveway, can the police pull up and check your sobriety? The answer is no. And the reason the answer is no is for two reasons. Number one, the police don't have any power, at least in British Columbia, to conduct sobriety checks of people who are not in motion and or not on a roadway. If you're on a roadway and you're not in motion, other than if you're like blocking the lane, but if you're parked lawfully on a public roadway in a lawful parking spot, you cannot have a sobriety check just randomly. Secondly, if you are on your private property, there is nothing in the BC Motor Vehicle Act or the Criminal Code that permits an officer to randomly enter onto your private property just to see if you're sober. The same goes for checking if you have a driver's license and checking if you have insurance. Those powers can only be exercised if the vehicle is in motion on a public roadway or posing some hazard by doing something unlawful on the roadway. So if the police show up and ask you to do a breathalyzer when you're sleeping in your car in your driveway, or you're sitting in your car in your driveway having a few beers and listening to music or watching the game because you don't want to wake up the kids, can you say no? Also no. You can't say no because it is still a criminal offense to refuse to comply with a demand. And even though the officers likely violated the law by coming onto your property without a warrant, by getting you out of your vehicle, and by violating the provisions of the Motor Vehicle Act related to sobriety checks, that doesn't make their demand for you to provide a sample unlawful. That's just a breach of your rights. There are some circumstances in which the police have to be acting in the lawful execution of their duties to give you a demand, like if they don't have a suspicion there's alcohol in your body, but you should not try to assess the validity of the demand at the roadside. You comply with the demand and argue that your rights were violated later. Do not refuse to blow, because if you refuse to blow, you're going to end up losing your license for 90 days and potentially also getting a criminal charge. Your vehicle is going to be towed out of your driveway. You don't want that to happen. Comply with the demand, even though the police have no legal right to be there.